Hello, hello, everybody. I apologize for the delay this morning, but I was having some technical difficulties. But I am here for Soundbath Sundays. I am so excited to be here today because, oh my God, it's been such a wonderful weekend. You know those times when you've had challenges in life and you feel like they'll never end. And hey, Stacia, Sandy, hola, bienvenidas. So we have challenges in life, and then we feel like they're never going to end. We feel like we're going to be in these challenges forever. And I, for one, I'm a I have sometimes too much a Pollyanna view of life. And when I had a super huge challenge 10 years ago, when I was done with it and my life started to become really happy, very stable, calm, I thought that the major hurdle in my life was over. I thought from here on, all I have to do is talk about my experience, help other people get through a horrible experience, and I'm good. I'm golden. I've gone through my dark night of the soul, and this will never happen again, so I'm good. And boy, was I mistaken. I think at this point, what happened 10 years ago was only a prep work for what I've gone through in the past 2 years. And it has been challenging to say the least. I've gone through really high highs, really low lows. And a lot of times I fell into the deep well of despair, frankly. But through it all, if there was one thing I learned doing my prep work, was that there is always a gift in every situation. And if you've never heard me, if it's the first time you're here, first of all, welcome. It's so good to have you. My name is Hannah Martinez, and I lead heart-driven, growth-minded entrepreneurs to tap into their inner genius and have a life amazing beyond their wildest dreams. Have magic in their lives, create magic in their lives and in the world. I help leaders, and I've been called the healer's healer, which I don't think I'm a healer. I think I just help people heal themselves because we all have that capacity. And so if you've never been here before, like I said, welcome. If you want to say hi, I would love to welcome you personally. And if you've been here before, well, you've probably heard me speak of my friend Florence, Flo, as I like to call her, Florence Scovel-Shinn. Now, this is a very old edition. I think the cover has changed throughout the years. This is called The Wisdom of Florence Scovel-Shinn, and it has her 4 complete books. Now, as you can see, it is a book that I've marked. I'm usually before this book, I never used to write on books. I always thought it was so disrespectful. And then I learned to highlight, and I didn't care. This book had so many gifts in it. I literally started doing it, and you probably won't see it, but I have highlighting, like underlining in pencil, because I just didn't want to wreck the book, until one day I thought, the heck with it, I don't care anymore. And so I have marks. I have literally whatever I find. When I find something good, I'll just reach over. Like I have a hotel key as a bookmark that I got. I have a God, is this toilet paper? I hope not. Ooh, when the shortage comes, I know where to find some. I have little bits of notes. I know I have $1,000. I have a dollar bill. I have my $1,000 bill as a marker. And anyway, it is falling to pieces. The pages are getting, when they're not acid protected, and so it has a yellowing on the sides. This book has literally served its purpose. I've had it for, God, I think I got it even before my daughter was born. So it's probably about 27 years old. I hazard a guess. Maybe she was 2, maybe it's 23 years old, but it's definitely over 20 years old, this book. And this book found me, I used to go, if anybody remembers Borders, I used to go, my ex-husband and I love books. And every week we'd go to Borders. We lived in Miami, and we went to this particular Borders that we loved on the US 1 in South Miami. And he'd go to his computer, whatever aisle, philosophy, whatever, and I would go to the self-development area. And I would just allow myself to get drawn to a book, like magnetized to it. I was like, what am I supposed to read this week? And one day, when the day I found, that this book found me, I was walking through the aisles, and this book literally fell from the top shelf. I mean, I couldn't have reached that shelf if I tried. I'm only 5'4" and a half. And so this book fell right at my feet. It literally jumped off, took a dive, and fell at my feet. I started giggling because I had just asked, I wonder what book I'm supposed to read this week. And this thing just, and I'm like, I guess this is it. Had never heard of Florence before in my life. And I started reading this book and I was mesmerized. Now, when you start reading it, you might be like, what the heck is this? Because it's written in the English that was spoken in the 1900s. So, I mean, this book was published in this first Fireside edition was 1989, but she died in 1940. Okay, so this was in the 1920s that it was written. And so the English that is spoken and written in this book is English from the times. And it just spoke to my heart so much. I keep it by my bed. And now I've read it cover to cover so many times. But now what I do is I literally, if I have a question in my heart or a doubt or something, I feel like I need some guidance, I will just randomly open this book in any page. And every time, invariably, I find the answer in it. And this morning, because literally this week has been crazy, it was my grandson's 2-year-old birthday. And it was his birthday on Friday, and my daughter had a celebration for him yesterday. And so many things happened this week. And yesterday I didn't plan today. As you can see, I was late today. I had technical challenges, but I still had time to contemplate this morning. I got up really early. I had my cousins and my nieces stayed here at my house last night. We had a wonderful time, and I woke up really early just to contemplate, just to be grateful. One of my cousins and I had been estranged actually for the entire 2 years that my grandson has been on this earth. And we had a reconciliation, and it was a wonderful, wonderful thing. So as I'm sitting here pondering about my life and how it's been in the past few years, I went from that crisis that I had to a hermit life where I had barely any contact with anyone. I did this for about almost 3 years, where I decided I was going to rebuild myself, re engineer myself, make myself over. And with the parts of me that I liked and loved, and without the parts of me that I didn't like, and the areas in my life that didn't work. And I went into a majorly deep exploration of my life and how I was going to live it from then on. Now, when you plan and God laughs, right? Well, I did that. I planned my life, and I did pretty darn awesome until I didn't. Until because I love what I do so darn much. Every part of my work, like I'm a voiceover talent. I love doing that. I perhaps might be going back on camera. I've been debating. I tried a little bit right before I left New York. Then I was like, I'm not sure about this, whatever. But I have been consistently doing the Sound Bath Sundays for 2 years now, and not missed one Sunday yet. And because of that, and because I'm a Pisces, and Pisces have no idea or sense of balance. Now, I also don't agree with the word balance, because I think that's very ephemeral, very temporary. Because when you go into balance, do you see the staticness, the staticity, the just nothingness, right? You're just there balancing. And how long can you stay holding that balance? It doesn't really happen in real life. For me, it's more of a dance. But because I decided that I was like shut down in my heart, that's another decision I made. I'm not going to ever have another relationship in my life. I had my relationship. That was when you didn't expect a hotel key, yes, or toilet paper. I think it was more of a napkin, but what the heck. Anyway, I'm losing my train of thought, but I'm reading the comments over there on Facebook and going randomly on a different path. Oh, anyway, so Pisces and their lack of ability to not go all the way to one end of the spectrum and just going like teeter-tottering, right? I will go one extreme or the other. So when I got divorced, I made a very conscious and happy decision that I would never, ever have another relationship again, like a partnership with a man, right? I'm done with that. That was it. It is not in the cards that I will ever know real love, because I felt like this man kind of like not really ever loved me, or didn't love me in a way that made me feel loved and appreciated. And he did before we got married, and then whatever happened. So I decided, that didn't work out for me. So done, over. But I can go and do other things. I can like dive into my work, and I can dive into this and dive into research and learning and knowing, because I just thrive. I love learning new things. And now I have all this time. Like I can study quantum physics. I can study just, more of everything, sacred geometry. I can study just more of everything that I always wanted to know, get better at what I'm doing, get like an expert level. And so I became completely obsessed with my work, and my work is my life. I've never been able to have a division. Like for me, I don't have Monday through Friday mentality. For me, every day is Saturday. I love Saturdays. And for me, every day is a fun day. And so I had no, okay, Monday through Friday, I'm going to do this. There's no compartmentalizing in my life. My life is just my life, and this is what I do. And I realized that I wasn't dancing with the other areas of my life. So this morning, as I was pondering and being so grateful about the fact that I have my family back, that we are having a wonderful time, that I see my daughter happy and thriving, I see my grandson happy and thriving. I had so much fun. My cousins are so fun, and we always laugh so much. And I realized, wow, I've been kind of not paying attention to other areas of my life. I've been so focused on work and making my business grow and being really happy. I mean, I'm not unhappy, I'm thrilled, but I realized, hey, I'm not paying attention to these other parts. And it reminded me of Florence's perfect divine, she calls it the divine plan, perfect self-expression. And her perfect plan includes health, wealth, love, and perfect self-expression. So I've been focused on my perfect self-expression, my divine plan, my mission on this planet, helping others, connecting to God, and it's all about me and God and me and God and me and God. But I've been just like having like issues on other parts of my life, and I'm like, I don't want to deal with those because they're not pretty to look at. It's not really working out, and I've realized throughout this path that I've never even learned that I could set boundaries, right? What are those? For me, it was like, oh, I can have those. I knew how to respect everybody else's boundaries, but I didn't know how to set mine. So I was like, well, I don't have to set them. I can just like focus on here, and then all that will just go away or solve itself. And it really doesn't. So what Florence says is, and I'm going to read because I think it's really important that I stick to what she was really saying. The chapter starts is saying this: there is for each man perfect self-expression. There is a place which he is to fill and no one else can fill. Something which he is to do, he or she is to do, which no one else can do. It is his destiny. This achievement is health, a perfect idea in divine mind, awaiting man's recognition. As the imaging faculty is the creative faculty, it is necessary for man to see the idea before it can manifest. So man's highest demand is for the divine design of his life. He may not have the faintest conception of what it is, for there is possibly some marvelous talent hidden deep within him. His demand should be, infinite spirit, open the way for the divine design of my life to manifest. Let the genius within me now be released. Let me see clearly the perfect plan. And as I'm reading this, which I hadn't read in a long time, I now understand why I keep saying that I help people tap into their inner genius, because I probably got that from Florence, speaking about the genius within. Let the genius within me be now be released. Let me see clearly the perfect plan. The perfect plan includes health, wealth, love, and perfect self-expression. This is the square of life, which brings perfect happiness. And so when I see my life today, I see how naturally I've been led to make certain choices and decisions in my life that are part of the divine design so that I can have complete fulfillment one way or another. Because when we refuse to look at the perfect square, there is such an imbalance that I believe that our God self will say, wait a minute, you're going too far the other way. Let's bring you back a little bit. For example, the fact that we may or may not be interrupted by a 9-week-old puppy that I decided to have. That was so interesting because for a year I was trying to adopt this dog from a shelter and it just would not happen. It did not happen. The day I let go of the desire and I said, God, if I'm to have a dog, you're going to send me the dog. I'm just going to stop looking. I stopped chasing a dog. 2 days later, this dog shows up. 2 weeks later, I have a dog in my house. 2 weeks and a day later, I'm wondering what the heck I was thinking, getting a puppy, but here we are. And every day she's been with me for a week, and I'm telling you, the changes have been amazing. I thought I was going to go crazy a couple of days. I thought I was going to become one of those people that I've judged and criticized so much that would just go and leave a dog at a shelter. And but I didn't. She's still here. And then I decided to reach out to my cousin after I had this falling out with her. After I had just gotten hurt, and I couldn't. I wasn't able to deal with it, with the hurt that had happened, and I just decided to just cut off that part of my life. And then in analyzing, it's like I have this part of me missing. It's like I would like to have that. So I reached out and it was an immediate answer and things just happened. And all I'm trying to say today is look at every aspect of your life. Every area is just as important. When people say, well, I'm spiritual, but I'm poor because I'm spiritual, or I'm an artist, I'm a starving artist. Those are ideas, I think, are ideas of the past. It is absolutely not necessary to suffer on one area to have the other area. When we are open to receiving all the blessings and the abundance in every aspect of our lives, the divine plan, the divine design of our life happens. And like I repeat, like a parrot, we are a tiny, tiny little speck, perhaps, in the whole puzzle of life. But without us, the puzzle will never, ever be complete. So we are just as important as anybody else. And every aspect of our lives is just as important. Having wealth is not about hoarding money. Hey, Julia, hi, Ines. It's not about hoarding. It's about using that wealth to create magic, to have experiences, to share, to experience more love, more opulence. And people sometimes get mad at me about using the word opulence because they believe that opulent is being arrogant, or they have an idea, definition of opulence that doesn't sit well with them. It's like excess and just like maybe not depth of, it's like superficial and vain. But if you just sit and stare at a tree and look at how many leaves it has and its bark and its beauty, don't you think that nature is opulent? If you look at a butterfly or a ¿cómo se llama el colibrí? what are those little teeny little birds that take the nectar, that have the long beak and drink that, and they're like hummingbirds. I don't know the word in English. I know it in Spanish. Hummingbirds. Have you ever seen a hummingbird up close? They are these little things, and they have the most incredible greens and blues and just these bright, brilliant colors of nature. Isn't that opulent? Isn't a peacock opulent? So why wouldn't we be opulent? Why wouldn't opulence live through us? Why couldn't it? And so I connect to that word. I love that word, opulent, because I love to have luxurious experiences. I love to have things that light up my senses. And I believe that everyone should do the same thing, and everyone should allow themselves to receive all of the gifts that we have destined for us. If there is something in your heart calling you forth, it is not God being cruel, dangling a carrot in front of you and saying, see, this is what you want, but you can't have it. No. Here is what you want. Yeah, because it's there for you. Allow yourself to receive it. Get out of your own way. Because when we chase, we demagnetize. Florence also says, my ships sail in over a don't care sea. I love that saying. I say it all the time. I'm like, my ship sail in over a don't care sea. It's like, yeah, because when you are not attached to the outcome, when you're not expecting the precise outcome, when you give the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, you give yourself permission to receive, and you give God permission to create it in any which way he or she wants to do it, and just send it your way, you will always be amazingly surprised. And it will never be a question of if you're going to get your desire, but when you're going to get it. And if we just manage to dance our way through life as these things are getting created and orchestrated for us, then when they get here, there is just more room and more cause for celebration. So I invite you this week to look at your life and see every aspect: health, wealth, love, and perfect self-expression. If there's an area of your life that you've neglected, pay a little attention to it this week. Allow it to flow through your life. Ask questions. The better questions get the better answers. It is not about ever knowing the answer. I know we got trained in school like Pavlov dogs, and the one who had the right answer was the one who got the little star. I was great at giving answers until I learned that there was more greatness to be had if I focused on asking better questions and allowing God to answer back. Because when I got chastised in school, did you get chastised in school for asking too many questions? God knows I did. Shut up already. I'd sit at the front, eager to know, and I'd ask and I'd stump my teachers, and they'd be like, shut up. We'll talk after class. Can you please let me get through my lesson? And until I learned that it was better to be quiet, better to not ask questions, better to not get in trouble. And it took me a long time to understand that in the realm, in the kingdom of God, you will never get in trouble for asking the better question. You will always get the better answers. So what questions are you asking? Are they questions of limitation? Are they questions of poverty? Are there questions of scarcity, lack? If they are, change your questions. Change your questions. And then the universe will give you the answers that your heart has been longing and aching for. And don't want something too much. Learn to be happy with what you have. And when you are, when you just relish in the beauty that surrounds you and find it, if you don't think there's beauty around you, find the beauty. Go looking for it because it's always there. It might be hidden behind a lot of dirt. But when you do, your life will light up like a million stars. So let's celebrate today the perfect design, the divine plan of our lives, the perfect square of life. Go ahead and place your feet flat on the ground. Let me fix this camera a little bit. You were always, Stacia, you were always in trouble for asking questions. Yeah. It's like, why is this happening? I would always ask, like I'd see, poor in Mexico City, by God, so many children living in the streets. And I'd be like, God, why do I have so much? I would cry myself to sleep. I was 7 years old. I remember so clearly. Why do I have so much and others have so little? Well, because we're here to learn to share our toys and our gifts. And you have your gifts. And we're running out of time, people. So place your feet flat on the ground. Wiggle your toes. Do 3 cleansing breaths. If you've never heard me speaking about cleansing breaths, it's to inhale 4 counts through your nose, hold for 1 or 2 counts, whatever feels natural and organic, and then let it go with a big exhale, as when you were young and in love and thought of your beloved and went that big sigh. Feel how good that feels in your body. Feel how much oxygen, glucose starts feeding your brain. Allow yourself to have deep gut breaths instead of shallow breaths that keep your brain starved. So breathe in like a baby and let it all go. And do 3 to 6 cleansing breaths, whatever feels natural to you and whatever your body requires. You might need more even. When your body starts feeling the oxygen and feeling nourished, it's like, ooh, I like this. Give me more. Place your hands, palms facing up on your thighs in a receiving position. If you're holding on to any garbage bags of the past, stuff that no longer serves you, go ahead and drop them. Because God can't give you more if your hands are full, especially if your hands are full of garbage bags. Now, don't look at the garbage on the way out. Let it just go and dissolve. So I'll let the sound clear it all away. When you're ready, go ahead and wiggle your toes. Take one or several cleansing breaths. And bring yourself back home. A little shake, a little stretch. Ooh, everything cracked. Are you all back here? Landed safely? I hope you had a wonderful week. We know that there's a lot of strong energies coming into the planet at this moment. So it's our choice to get smacked by them. Thank you, Stacia. Or go surfing. I choose to go surfing. And receiving all the energies, allowing them to flow right through you, and making sure that however you do this, you keep your vibrational frequency high. You keep yourself grounded and centered. And you can do it any way you want. You can walk barefoot on the grass. You can listen to my sound baths. You can meditate. You can hug a tree, lean your back against a tree trunk and allow barefoot and allow the trees to just take all of your worry, your grief, your sadness, whatever it is. Trees use that and transmute that energy, just like they give us oxygen and we give them CO2. We can also give them our baggage and they will gladly take it and regenerate it for us and give us vibrancy of life, give us amazing frequencies that will raise our whole vibrational frequency so that we can remain in our hearts and our centers. We create our own eye in the hurricane. So when everything looks like it's falling apart all around us, we're able to stay calm, stay centered, stay clear in the head, so we can make clear, smart, intelligent decisions. We can hear our intuition calling and telling us what it is. Ay, gracias, Sandy. What it is that your next step is. And that could be unique to you. And you may feel like, oh my gosh, I'm going against the current. And you most likely will. Because your path is your own unique path. And you might be going against the current of the other people. But you'll be going with the current of your own life. And when you do that, like, your mind can lead you astray. Your mind can trick you. Your mind can get you in a lot of trouble. But your intuition, your gut, that enteric system, your stomach, that knowing inside of you will never do it. It will never lead you astray. It will always guide you on the right path for your divine plan, your divine design. If you'd like to explore more about working with me, I have a program called Moon Harvest, where we harness the power of the moon, the sun, and the stars to create our sacred cosmic soil, where we plant our seeds and we watch them grow and we watch them flourish, and we become cosmic farmers and we harvest our dreams in the most magical ways. It is a really fun program. It is a membership where we get together 3 to 4 to even 5 times a month, depending on what is going on in the cosmos. It's usually 3 times. It is the new moon, the full moon, and the portal, the monthly portal, which is the day and the month. So it'll be like this month was 10/10, was on Saturday. We had our portal. And oh yeah, it was yesterday. Oh, thank you, Stacia. Our portal meditation yesterday was absolutely amazing. It was like off the charts. Thank you, Stacia, for that. Yes, it was off the charts. It was pretty fantastic. And so this month we're going to have more times together, because there's a blue moon, meaning that there's 2 full moons in 1 month. So we had a full moon at the beginning of the month. We have a new moon coming up on the 16th. And then on the 31st, on actual Halloween, we have a full moon as well. So we have a ceremony where we're learning more about how to plant our seeds and then dance through life while we wait for the harvest. And it becomes a really magical journey if you are called to join our amazing group of incredible beings that are all leaders, are all leading others and leading themselves in the most magical ways, creating magical lives. I invite you to send me a message. If you're on Facebook, just DM me. If you are on YouTube and you'd like to reach out to me, send an email to info@vocaltapestry.com, info@vocaltapestry.com, and I'll be sure to reach out to you personally and see if this is the right container for you. And if it isn't, I will have so many resources of so many amazing coaches, healers, leaders that I may be able to, it might not be me, but it might be someone connected to me that may be your next step. So don't be afraid to reach out to me. I am still available and I will be until I can't anymore. And when I can't, I will let you know. Someone from my team will get back to you. But For now, I will get back to you personally, and we'll be happy to learn more about you and what your goals are, and what your divine design is, what your gifts are, and what you're ready to come and share with the world, because the world is waiting for you. So stop pressing the snooze button. I will see you next week. Hold on, my friends on Facebook, my friends on YouTube. Thank you so much for being here every week. I love you. I will see you next week.